First of all, I think that WCSA has done a fine job. And I think one of the most prime examples is during the fire and just how involved the council members were. I looked to freshman year, and one great example that I saw was Jerice Jenkins, who was vice president. And even while she was serving in that official capacity on WCSA, she did not compartmentalize, and she did not say, this is my WCSA time, and then now this is my time. She always had that heart for service, and she continued to engage in relationships. And just even as a freshman, getting to know her had a huge impact on my life and setting the tone for my time at Westmont, and seeing an example of what it means to be in an official leadership capacity, but at the same time not compartmentalizing and still continuing to have ministry be your lifestyle. And as far as this year's council goes, I see Brandon Woods. I remember, as a freshman during the elections, I didn't know who he was, and he had been in Europe in the fall. And I met him early on this year, and I've just been very impressed with how he engages relationally. Even though he lives off campus, he's very visible. He's in the DC very often. He takes the time to stop and talk to people, and not just say hi in passing, but he'll pause and actually talk to you. And also just the events that he does show up at, and I feel that he's very approachable. But I would like to have monthly dessert pizza nights hosted by WCSA, possibly in Founders, to provide an environment a casual environment where students will be attracted by food, because everybody knows that food is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And to have that more casual environment where on the one hand, WCSA members will be able to get to know students better, and then also hopefully that eventually students will feel very comfortable sharing concerns that they have, because there's a lot of complaining on campus, and some of it is valid and some of it's not, but often I'll ask if they've brought it up to WCSA members, and for whatever reason they don't. And I know that the current council is more than happy to hear them, but there's just kind of that disconnect there. And I know that WCSA makes their meetings available to the students, and they have a suggestion box on the website. And the platform I'm running on is, I speak about convergent communication and convergent connection. And the reason I chose to use the word convergent is that we all come from various backgrounds, but Westmont is the place where we converge, and where our stories will be together for a couple of years. And just because we converge doesn't mean that we connect. And just because we converge doesn't mean that we communicate. And there's already a lot of good things in place at Westmont, but these things need to continue, and also students need to know more about them.
Okay.
So one example would be continuing to do what the current WCSA Council is doing, is connecting WCSA with residents' life. And RAs do hear a lot of concerns that students will have, and I think it's a good thing that they have WCSA members attending RA meetings to kind of keep in tune and to have that channel of communication open. And also, another thing I would really want to try to push is connecting faculty with freshmen, especially. WCSA is already reimbursing faculty for having students over for dinner, and I would definitely continue that. And of course, the Take a Professor lunch would continue, but also just more working with faculty to continuing what actually Paige is doing this year, connecting with the Chapman family. And I think for freshmen, being the first time away from parents, sometimes it can lead to poor choices, and it can lead to a bad trajectory that'll set you up for possibly the rest of your time on Westmont, and it'll take a lot of work to get back on the right track. And I think with faculty having so much more life experience than us, they could really provide insight and provide guidance, especially for freshmen. So, and set a good tone for their time at Westmont.